What's going on, YouTube family? So let's talk about movies real quick. All right, being a Gen Xer, I say we got all the classics, from Scarface to The Breakfast Club. You name them, right? For all the movie buffs, we got all the classics. Two of my favorite all-time movies: Red Dawn, the first one, Young Guns, 1988. Uh, Absolutely. Young Guns 1988. For those who've been following, you know, I was 17 in 1988. I got shot when I was 17 in 1988. I was running around thinking I was a gangster in 1988. And I'm going to make a point on this because this goes to show you how media definitely influences our behavior. So, like I said, Young Guns came out in 1988. If you don't know, it's a movie about Billy the Kid. Emilio Estevez played Billy the Kid, and it's one of my favorite movies. It was then at that time when I was 17. It still is to this day. Now, 1990, Part Two came out, and you know, usually with most series, the second one don't be as good as the first one. This actually was, lived up to the hype. So one and two are great movies. You know, they're standalone movies just by themselves, right? So of course, I've watched that 100 times. Now here's a quick story on that. In 1993, I robbed a bank. The night before I robbed the bank, I watched Young Guns Part One. The morning that I got arrested, I had watched Young Guns Part 2. 20 minutes later, U.S. Marshals come kicking my door down, arresting me for the bank robbery. True story. Now, in 1993, a movie came out called Menace to Society. I'll never forget watching that movie, coming out of the theater, being so inspired to finally go and really hit my lick and get the money. Because I had considered robbing a bank for a long time. You know, I was already in the streets doing things, but the money I was getting was never enough because I was spending just as fast as I got it. So I was never really having enough money to support my lavish lifestyle that I wanted to live running the streets of Detroit. So I had always had it in my mind to rob a bank. I knew how I wanted to rob the bank. Of course, I didn't have it, I didn't have it in mind where to do it at. I just knew that that's the way I had saw myself really coming up and getting my money, getting the bag, right? And after watching Minister Society in 1993, oh, that absolutely made my mind up to really go out there and get to it, and I did. Okay, so not too long ago, they just announced that they're making a Young Guns Part 3. And I'm so excited for that because I have that connection all the way back from when the first one came out in 88, Part 2 came out in 1990, and here it is somewhat 35, 36 years later. And Emilio Estevez is directing it. He played in the first two originally as Billy the Kid. Uh, and the original cast is coming back. Kiefer Sutherland, he died in the second one, but I do hope they bring back his role in like a flashback sequence or something. Uh, 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 what's his name? Emilio Estevez. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I just had his name too. Anyway, yeah, the original cast of the first two are coming back, so I'm excited about that. But isn't it just amazing? Here it is. uh, I've been around since the first one, part two, and then now 35, 36 years later, they just announced that they are indeed working on Young Guns 3. So that's exciting for us Gen Xers. Oh, I'm sure we'll be looking forward to that. Now the only thing I hope is that they do it some justice. You know, don't flame out on the last one. You know, let us all down. But it's just so neat to see. Oh, Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah. So Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips. Uh, what's my man? Christian Slater. Yeah, he's back. Uh, who did I just say? Oh, Kiefer Sutherland. He died in the second one, but I do hope they bring him back in like a flashback role or something. And so the original cast, John Bon Jovi, you know, he had the soundtrack. What was that? Oh man. Uh, oh, what's that soundtrack to that movie? It's still one of my favorite songs to this day. It'll come back. See, this is what happens when you get old, man. You have everything on the tip of your tongue. What's that? I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I want it, want it. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's Young Gun soundtrack. So yeah, so yeah, and you know you couldn't tell me I wasn't a young gun when I was 17, running around streets of Detroit, being on some gangster time. Kept 245s on me at all times. You couldn't tell me none. I thought I was that guy. so, so yeah, you know I don't like to talk about doing my time in the streets and my time in the prison because I don't want to glorify that lifestyle. And I know there's people out here that make content and they prosper. You can profit off of those, off of negativity, and that's such a shame that we live in that kind of world where negativity sells. If I was to get on here and start sharing all my gangster stories and all my stories from prison, I'm sure I'd have broke 1 million views by now, you know, but nah, that's not my way, man. We're gonna keep it Christian, keep it clean, keep it righteous at all times. You know, the slow way is the for sure way, right? And so, like I say, I don't do this for profit. I do this for purpose. But you know, hey, if one of these videos take off one day and I can make $1 off of it, then praise the Lord for it, right? But anyway, shout out to my Gen Xers, man. Be looking for Young Guns 3, bringing the original cast back. Shout out to Emilio, Lou Diamond Phillips, man, the whole crew. Man, I hope y'all do it some justice. I can't wait. So I'll be the first one in line for that one. There you go. There you go. You see him back there? That's my buddy back there, Samson. Yeah, he can give me a hard time lately, but this is his favorite thing to do throughout the day. So it's mine too. I ain't even gonna front. Look at him. I know he's about to go over there and roll around in the grass. That's his favorite thing to do. Let's see if we can get him doing it. He's trying to get some shade. It's warm out here today. It's supposed to be like in the 90s all weekend. So yeah, we got it coming. All right, that's all I got. I just had to get out here and just, you know, share my story about these movies. But media does influence our behavior. And it did back then for me, back in the days with these movies, Young Guns. You know, I ran around Detroit thinking I was Billy the Kid with 245s, you know. Like I said, Menace Society came out in 1993, and that is absolutely the movie that made me make up my mind to go do what I did to get the big bag, you know. So yeah, and that's back then before we had the internet. It was just movies, you know. So now with social media and these devices, how much more is media influencing the behavior of these kids today? So, but thank God I was not born in this age. I would not have made it. As wild as I was back then, oh, the 17-year-old me today, no, I wouldn't have been no good out here. I wouldn't have been no good. I was hell on wheels. back when you didn't have all this, you know, extra stuff. So, you know, I'd have been out of control. So, God know what he's doing, so bless his name for it. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. If you like what I do, hit me with a like. If you haven't subbed, hit me with a sub. And leave a comment. I welcome it all, good and bad. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed and wonderful day.